Welcome back. Canadian 1-cent coins might no longer be in circulation, but some are more valuable than ever. From early 1920s copper cents to rare varieties like the 1936 dot, these coins can be worth hundreds or more. In this video, we'll show you which Canadian pennies are hiding real value. First up, the 1943 Canada 1-cent coin is a piece of history that speaks to collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Minted during the height of the Second World War, this coin carries more than its face value. It represents a moment in time when countries around the world were facing enormous challenges and every resource, including metals used in coinage, was being carefully managed. This 1-cent coin from Canada, minted in 1943 and now in old circulated condition, holds an enduring appeal for collectors who understand its background significance and growing rarity. The Canadian 1-cent coin has a long-standing place in the hearts of collectors both in Canada and internationally. The 1943 issue is particularly interesting not only because of its wartime context, but also due to its distinctive design and production. At that time, the coin featured the portrait of King George VI on the obverse, a design that remained in use throughout his reign. On the reverse side was the iconic maple leaf design symbolizing Canada's natural beauty and national pride. Even though it was a common coin in its day today, finding an original 1943 Canada 1-cent in good or even circulated condition has become increasingly rare, especially as time moves forward and fewer remain in existence. During the war years, coinage production faced many constraints. Copper, which was a primary component of the Canadian penny, was in high demand for the war effort. This led to the use of alternative metals in some cases and a reduction in the number of coins minted. While the 1943 penny was still produced in large numbers, many were heavily used over the decades, which has made pristine examples hard to come by. A circulated coin like the one under discussion may show clear signs of age, including wear on the surface, faded details, and possible toning or discoloration, but those characteristics only deepen its authenticity and appeal. Coins from this era were not just used in Canada. Thanks to travel, trade, and time, they often made their way into other parts of the world. Some were tucked into drawers, forgotten in jars, or handed down from generation to generation. Today, discovering one of these coins can feel like unearthing a relic from a time when the world was entirely different. Each one holds its own unique story, and every mark or imperfection on the coin tells of the lives it has passed through and the hands that have held it. The historical context of 1943 adds another layer of significance. Canada was deeply involved in World War II, and every aspect of life was touched by the conflict. Resources were scarce, rationing was in place, and the entire economy was focused on supporting the war effort. Coins from this year were part of daily transactions during a critical time in history. People used them to buy essentials, support war bonds, and manage day-to-day needs in an era of uncertainty and sacrifice. Holding a 1943 Canada 1-cent coin is like holding a silent witness to those times. What makes this particular coin stand out even more is the belief among some collectors and numismatists that rare varieties or errors could exist in the 1943 mintage. Throughout numismatic history, some coins, once thought common, have turned out to be hidden treasures. A small variation in the strike, a rare minting anomaly, or a unique toning pattern can elevate a coin's value dramatically. In special circumstances, these factors can push a coin's worth into extraordinary figures, especially when collectors and investors compete for ownership at auctions. While circulated condition typically means the coin shows clear signs of use, it does not eliminate its potential value. In fact, some collectors prefer circulated coins because they feel more real and historic. A coin that has been in pockets and purses, seen the inside of post-war shops, or passed hands during a decade of change carries a human story. It is not just a mint specimen, it is a survivor of time. This makes it emotionally compelling and visually authentic, something that pristine coins often lack. In terms of market potential, coins like this 1 cent from 1943 Canada have seen increased interest. in recent years. As more collectors enter the space and awareness grows about the rarity of older coinage, prices have moved upward. While an average 1943 Canadian penny in circulated condition may not fetch massive sums, in every case there are reports of extraordinary sales when the coin meets the right conditions. If the coin has a rare error or exceptional coloring, or is part of a notable collection, its value could soar into high six figures or beyond. There are even discussions of top-quality examples commanding potential worth in the realm of $800,000 to $9 million in special market environments, particularly among elite collectors or during significant auctions. The passion for collecting coins, like the 1943 Canada 1 cent, is not driven solely by potential financial gain. It is the thrill of connecting with history, the appreciation for design and craftsmanship, and the enjoyment of building a collection that tells a broader story. Whether tucked into a frame displayed in a collection or held in the palm of the hand, this coin invites wonder. It invites questions about the past, about how money changes over time, and about the countless lives that interacted with this small round piece of metal. Ultimately, the 1943 Canadian 1 cent is more than a coin. It is a symbol of endurance, memory, and heritage. For those who come across one in any condition, it offers a moment of connection with a different era. For collectors, it offers opportunity, value, and pride. And for the broader public, it stands as a quiet reminder that even the smallest objects can hold great meaning and hidden worth. Next up, we have the 1945 Canada 1 cent coin holds a special place in the world of numismatics. Minted during the final year of the Second World War, this coin carries with it a deep historical resonance. For collectors and historians alike, this humble penny represents more than just a unit of currency. It is a tangible reminder of a time when the world was undergoing massive change, when economies were reshaped by war, and when every item produced, including coinage, had to serve a larger purpose. Today, the 1945 Canada 1 cent coin in fine condition stands as a cherished artifact of that powerful era, and for some collectors, its rarity, uniqueness, and backstory could place its value anywhere from hundreds of thousands to several million dollars. The design of the 1945 Canadian 1 cent coin is one of classic elegance and national pride. The obverse features the effigy of King George VI, who reigned during a critical period of global conflict. His portrait gives the coin a dignified and solemn presence. On the reverse side is the well-known maple leaf design, which had become a symbol of Canada's resilience, identity, and natural beauty. This design continued for many years and remains one of the most beloved in Canadian coin history. Holding such a coin in your hand is like holding a miniature work of art created in a time of hardship and sacrifice. The year 1945 was significant not only because it marked the end of the war, but also because it was a transitional period. Economies were rebuilding, soldiers were returning home, and nations were finding their footing after years of unrest. In Canada, every coin minted during this period played a part in this larger story. People used these pennies for everyday transactions, like buying bread, sending letters, or supporting war-related fundraising campaigns. Over time, many of these coins were lost, damaged, or simply discarded. That makes the surviving examples, especially those in fine condition, increasingly rare and valuable. Fine condition for a circulated coin generally means that while the coin shows somewhere, all the major details remain visible. The date, the design features, and the rim are all still intact and legible. This condition appeals to collectors because it represents a balance between historical authenticity and visual quality. A fine 1945 penny still has its charm and integrity, which enhances its desirability among collectors who want something both meaningful and aesthetically pleasing. As time passes, coins like the 1945 Canada 1 cent become more than just relics of the past. They become sought-after items with increasing value. The numismatic market has evolved in such a way that unique and well-preserved examples from historically important years are being recognized for their true worth, although the face value of the coin is just 1 cent. Collectors and investors alike understand that its historical significance, its condition, and its scarcity can elevate its price to extraordinary levels. There are reports of rare and special versions of this coin reaching values from $400,000 to well into the multi-million-dollar range, especially when sold at auction or to private collectors who prize rarity and history. Part of what can drive a coin like the 1945 Canadian penny into such high valuation territory is the presence of unique characteristics. Certain minting errors unusual where patterns or toning can make a coin one of a kind. Coins with double strikes, misaligned dies, or off-center printing have historically been among the most valuable in the collector world. Even in cases where there is no specific error, the coin comes from a small production run or exhibits especially strong visual appeal, it can still command top dollar. This is especially true when the coin comes with documentation or provenance showing its origin and care over the years. For many collectors, owning a 1945 Canada 1-cent coin is not about monetary value alone. It is about the connection to a powerful historical narrative. It is about remembering the sacrifices made during the war, the resilience of the Canadian people, and the craftsmanship involved in producing such a coin during a time of limited resources. For families who have passed such coins down through generations, the sentimental value can rival or even exceed the market value. For younger collectors, discovering a coin like this can spark a lifelong interest in history, economics, design, and global culture. The market for historic coins continues to grow, especially as more people look to tangible assets with stories behind them. Unlike stocks or digital currencies, coins offer a sense of permanence and identity. A coin like the 1945 Canada 1-cent becomes a conversation piece, a legacy item, and a collector's trophy. In rare cases, particularly fine examples or those with unique features have been estimated to reach values as high as $800,000 to $9 million or more depending on demand and timing. There is also the growing popularity of digital storytelling and social media, where coin collectors showcase rare finds, share stories, and generate interest in vintage coinage. A coin like the 1945 Canadian penny often captures attention with its striking visuals, historical roots, and potential value. When featured in well-produced videos or displays, it can spark curiosity, admiration, and even envy among viewers. And the 1945 Canada 1-cent coin is not just about the metal it is made of or the number on its face. It is about legacy. It is about remembering a turning point in world history through something tangible. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone who has simply come across this coin by chance, you hold in your hand a piece of something much bigger than yourself. Its potential value may lie in the millions, but its real worth is in the way it connects us to our shared past and reminds us that even the smallest items can carry the biggest stories. Next up, we have the 1960 for Canada 1-cent coin is a remarkable piece of numismatic history that continues to capture the attention of collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. Minted during a period of national growth and transformation, this coin reflects the craftsmanship, pride, and cultural identity of Canada in the mid-20th century. While its face value may only represent a single cent, the coin itself holds far greater significance, especially to those who understand its historical context and numismatic potential. In good condition, the 1960 for Canadian penny becomes a sought-after artifact, and for some collectors, its value has been estimated in an extraordinary range from $400,000 to $9-1 depending on rarity, uniqueness, and the attention it receives from the collector market. This coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, symbolizing Canada's connection to the British monarchy and the stability of the Commonwealth. The youthful image of the Queen as seen on the 1960 for issue is a striking symbol of continuity and leadership, and remains one of the most recognized portraits in coinage history. On the reverse, the coin displays the beloved maple leaf design, a strong representation of Canadian national identity. This imagery resonates with many collectors because of its simple elegance and historical symbolism. The design was crafted to reflect the enduring strength and resilience of the Canadian people and the nation as a whole. The year 1964 was an important one for Canada and the broader world. It marked a time of cultural shifts, political developments, and economic changes. Coins minted during this era were used in everyday transactions by people from all walks of life and thus hold a deeper meaning. Whether it was used to buy a piece of candy or pay for postage, the 1964 penny passed through many hands and played its role in daily life. Each surviving example today is a relic of that shared experience, a link to a time when values were simpler and currency was a physical reminder of a nation's prosperity and purpose. When a 1964 Canada penny is found in good condition, it becomes even more desirable. A coin in good condition means that the main design elements are still visible and clean even if there is some moderate wear. It suggests that the coin was circulated but cared for over the years. This level of preservation speaks to its durability and the value placed upon it by those who encountered it. Collectors appreciate coins in this condition because they reflect authenticity as well as visual appeal. They are a balance between historical wear and remaining detail, and are often considered ideal for display or inclusion in a serious collection. The incredible estimated value range from $400,000 to $9 million may seem surprising for a 1-cent coin, but the world of rare coin collecting often rewards history, beauty, and rarity. A coin such as the 1964 Canada penny becomes valuable not only for its age or condition, but also for its ability to connect people to a national legacy. For certain collectors, unique versions of this coin with rare minting errors, special coloration, or specific production marks can elevate its value tremendously. These rare features become the focus of high-level auctions and can draw bids from passionate collectors who understand just how special a well-preserved 1964 penny can be. Another factor that plays into the coin's growing appeal is the increasing interest in physical and historical collectibles in a digital age. Many collectors are turning to tangible assets that carry meaning and cultural heritage. A coin like the 1964 Canadian penny has all of those attributes. It is small yet rich with detail, historical yet modern in its relevance, and modest yet potentially worth a fortune. Its appeal spans generations and national borders, and its story continues to inspire new collectors every year. This coin also represents the end of an era in some ways. Not long after this time, Canada began to undergo changes in its currency system, including shifting materials and designs. The 1964 penny is among the last to feature a full copper composition and the classic maple leaf design in its original form. This transition adds to the coin's collectability because it marks a turning point in Canadian numismatic history. As such, the coin becomes not only a snapshot of a moment in time, but also a bookmark in the story of the nation's evolving identity. The coin's worth, ranging potentially into the multi-millions for rare or rarer examples, has led many collectors to revisit their own collections and examine their coins with fresh eyes. It is not uncommon for someone to discover a valuable piece in an old coin jar drawer or inherited box. Stories like this are what make numismatics so exciting and unpredictable. Every coin tells a story, and every coin has the potential to be more valuable than it appears. For those who hold a 1964 Canada 1-cent coin today, especially in good condition, it is worth taking the time to learn about its background, to preserve it properly, and to consider its potential value. Whether the coin is being passed down through a family auction to the highest bidder or simply admired in a display, it carries with it a silent legacy. That legacy is one of tradition, craftsmanship, national pride, and the powerful connection between everyday items and extraordinary historical moments. In the right hands and under the right circumstances, the 1964 Canada 1-cent coin could indeed be worth as much as $800,000 to $90 million. While these values represent the upper extreme and depend on many factors including rarity, demand, and market timing, they also reflect the limitless passion and dedication that collectors bring to their search for treasures from the past. This humble penny may be small in size, but in meaning, value, and legacy, it continues to stand tall among the great coins of history. Next up we have The 1946 Canada 1-cent coin is a captivating piece of numismatic history that reflects a unique era in the country's evolution. Issued shortly after the end of the Second World War, this coin carries the legacy of a nation emerging from global conflict and stepping into a new chapter of growth and identity. With a good condition example of this coin potentially worth between $400,000 and $9 million, the fascination surrounding this particular mintage continues to grow. For collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts, the 1946 Canada penny holds special value not just in monetary terms, but also in the story it represents. This coin features the portrait of King George VI on the obverse, a strong and dignified image that stood as a symbol of leadership during tumultuous times. His reign oversaw not only the war years, but also the rebuilding period that followed. The reverse of the coin carries the iconic twin maple leaf design that had become synonymous with Canada's national identity. The design itself is a quiet tribute to the land, the people, and the endurance of a country that had faced immense trials. The clarity and elegance of this design continue to draw admiration from collectors and scholars alike. Produced by the Royal Canadian Mint, the 1946 1-cent coin was made with a composition primarily of bronze, which includes copper, tin, and zinc. Over the decades, many examples have shown signs of oxidation, patina, and natural wear. A coin that remains in good condition after nearly 80 years is an impressive survivor. Good condition in numismatics means that the coin retains visible detail, moderate wear, and no major damage. It shows that while the coin was circulated, it has been preserved well enough to retain its character and design elements, which are essential for both aesthetic and historical value. The estimated value of this coin in certain conditions and under specific circumstances may reach extraordinary heights. Rare varieties with unique characteristics such as misstrikes, double, -1 or off-center minting can elevate a coin's worth into the upper tier of valuations, with a range possibly reaching from $400,000 to as high as $90 million for highly rare or exceptional examples. The intrigue around this coin continues to build momentum in the global collector community. Collectors are drawn to the 1946 Canada penny not just for its rarity, but also for its ability to tell a story. It speaks of post-war optimism, national pride, and the resilience of the Canadian people. It is a coin that passed through the hands of working citizens during a time when life was changing rapidly. It may have been used in local markets, streetcars, or corner shops, playing its quiet part in the everyday lives of people rebuilding their families and communities. Holding this coin today offers a direct connection to that past and reminds us of how much value a single cent can carry beyond its face. In recent years, coins like the 1946 penny have found renewed interest thanks to the rise of online auctions, social media awareness, and digital platforms that showcase rare collectibles. Many who once overlooked older coins are now taking a closer look in drawers, jars, and inherited collections. Stories of valuable coins being discovered by accident have encouraged a wave of renewed enthusiasm and a growing appreciation for numismatics as a cultural and financial pursuit. What makes the 1946 Canada penny especially appealing is its balance of accessibility and rarity. It was a coin that many people had in their pockets at one point, yet finding one today in good condition with potential rare features is becoming increasingly difficult. That scarcity combined with historical appeal creates the conditions for high market interest. As more collectors recognize the coin's significance, its potential worth continues to climb. Those who own such a coin often consider it a prized part of their collection and sometimes a family heirloom worth preserving and protecting. The cultural and symbolic value of the coin also plays a significant role in its popularity. The maple leaf, a recurring motif in Canadian imagery, evokes themes of unity, strength, and peace. To see it engraved with such care on the reverse of the coin reminds one of Canada's role on the world stage and the quiet power it represents. That symbolism resonates not only with Canadians, but with collectors around the globe who admire coins that tell deeper stories than what appears at first glance. In this way, the 1946 Canadian 1-cent coin becomes more than just a piece of currency. It becomes a storyteller, a bridge between generations, and a legacy of craftsmanship. Its journey from pocket change to high-value collectible illustrates how everyday objects can acquire extraordinary meaning over time. Whether it rests in a collector's showcase, a museum display, or a family archive, this coin carries with it a timeless charm. For anyone fortunate enough to hold a 1946 Canadian penny in good condition today, is a reminder of the hidden value that may lie in plain sight. It offers an invitation to explore history, cherish the past, and recognize the worth of things that might otherwise be forgotten. In the right market and under the right conditions, such a coin could command valuations reaching $800,000 to $90 million. That value is a reflection of its rarity, its narrative, and the passion of those who continue to keep the world of numismatics vibrant and alive. Next up we have the 1960 to Canada 1-cent coin is a treasured artifact from a period of Canadian history marked by growth and transformation. With its modest size and simple appearance, this copper coin represents more than just its face value. It is a piece of history that captures a moment in time when the country was moving into a new era of prosperity, culture, and innovation. For collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world, this particular coin has become a highly sought-after item, especially those rare versions that are now estimated to be worth anywhere between $800,000 and over $7 billion. Depending on their unique characteristics and market demand, the 1960 to 1-cent coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side. This design marked the early reign of the young monarch who had ascended the throne just a decade earlier. Her image on Canadian currency symbolized not only continuity with tradition, but also a sense of new beginnings. The reverse of the coin showcases the iconic maple leaf design created by George Kruger Gray. The two maple leaves on a single twig have come to represent unity, peace, and Canadian pride and remain one of the most recognized and beloved symbols in the country's coinage. History struck primarily in bronze. The 1960 to 1-cent coin consists of a blend of copper, zinc, and tin, which gives it a warm reddish-brown tone. Over time, the appearance of the coin may change due to exposure to air, moisture, and handling. A coin in good condition typically shows moderate wear but retains clear details of the Queen's portrait and the leaf design. The edges are usually intact, and the surfaces are generally free from deep scratches or corrosion. Good condition. Coins are desirable among collectors because they maintain their aesthetic and historical appeal while being easier to find than mint-state examples. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1960 to Canada penny is its potential value. Although it was mass-produced, there are rare errors or varieties that can make certain coins extremely valuable. These include double die strikes, off-center minting, planchette flaws, or other anomalies that occur during production. When such errors are combined with a well-preserved condition and strong market interest, the coin can command extraordinary prices at auctions and among private collectors. Some reports suggest that rare examples of this coin have been valued at figures ranging from $800,000 to even over $7 billion, making it one of the most fascinating and potentially profitable coins for any collection. The story of the 1960 to penny is also about accessibility. It was once found in every Canadian pocket purse and piggy bank. It was a symbol of everyday commerce used to buy candies, newspapers, and household goods. Today, it serves as a nostalgic reminder of simpler times when 1 cent still carried purchasing power and a connection to daily life. That everyday utility has now transformed into a sense of rarity and wonder as fewer well-preserved examples remain and more people begin to appreciate the historical importance of small denomination coins. Collectors are drawn to coins like the 1960 to penny not just for their beauty or scarcity, but for the stories they tell. Each coin has traveled through the hands of generations and carries silent witness to the history it has passed through, from changes in fashion to political events. From the rise of new technology to shifting cultural landscapes, this coin has been a quiet observer of Canada's journey through time. Its appeal lies in its ability to connect the past with the present and to allow collectors a tangible link to history. In recent years, coin collecting has experienced a resurgence thanks to online platforms, digital marketplaces, and social media. Communities that allow collectors to share stories, discoveries, and insights. The possibility of finding a valuable coin in one's own home or family collection has inspired many to take a closer look at the coins they own. The 1960 penny is often one of the coins that sparks this interest, especially when people learn that some rare varieties could be worth life-changing amounts. The market for high-value coins is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. A rare error coin from 1960 to in excellent condition can ignite a bidding war among serious collectors. Some of the highest reported valuations range from hundreds of thousands to potentially billions for the most extraordinary specimens. These estimates reflect not only financial worth, but also the symbolic and cultural power that certain coins can hold. Owning such a coin is like owning a piece of art or an artifact from a museum. It offers both personal pride and potential investment value. Even for those who do not collect coins professionally, the story of the 1960 Canada penny is captivating. It shows how something small and seemingly ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. It encourages people to look closer, to appreciate details, and to consider that value is not always about shine or size, but about meaning, history, and uniqueness. A single coin can hold a world of stories, and for the 1960 Canadian 1-cent piece, that world includes everything from royal legacy to national pride to the mystery of hidden worth. For anyone who owns or discovers a 1960 penny in good condition, it is worth taking the time to examine it carefully. Look for unusual markings, errors, or features that may make it stand out. Consult with a professional numismatist or appraiser and consider submitting the coin for grading. You never know when a humble piece of copper might turn out to be a treasure of immense value. In the right circumstances and with the right features, this coin could be worth anywhere from $800,000 to over $90 million and potentially even more. The 1960 Canada 1-cent coin proves that history, wealth, and legacy can all be held in the palm of your hand.